All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Orbital Takes. Today is July 6th. Hopefully, everybody's feeling great this morning. It was a long, fun weekend. Hopefully, you guys had a great holiday weekend. Joined by my co-host, as always, Pat. What it do, man? How we doing?
I'm doing great, Chris. It was a little bit of a long weekend for me. Still recovering a little bit from 4th of July. I was able to get some yard work done, but maybe indulge a little bit too much. So, yeah. What did you do? How was your week? How was your Independence Day weekend?
Dude, I've been at the beach. I was in Fire Island the entire weekend. I did a little. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you saw I just went fishing for the first time. Get this, the first time I ever cast the line, I caught a fish. It was like, now I'm addicted. Now I'm doing like fishing with Spo every chance I get. You know what I mean? It was fun.
Yep. Time for a new podcast, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Do you fish? I don't even think I ever asked you.
I've been fishing. I don't consider myself a fisherman, a fisherman by any stretch. So
I heard that. Anyway, it was a great weekend though. And like I said, we're probably doing this episode with like 5 to 10 brain cells, but there's so much shit going on. We have to address. Okay. So first things first, a week from now, James Webb Telescope is launching the first colored images ever in humanity's history, right? This is going to be the next big space image of our lifetime. We've been waiting for this forever, 6 months in the making now. What are you expecting? Do you think you're going to get let down? Or from what you've heard so far, do you think that this is really going to be like a life-changing image that James Webb drops?
I'm so excited for this, Chris. The hype that they've been spewing out on social media makes me super excited for this. I have a feeling we're going to be disappointed because I don't know how you can hype something up that much and not. I don't know. Like we'll show some of the best Hubble images. Is this really going to beat the Pillars of Creation? Is this going to overtake some of those iconic Hubble photos? I just don't see how it can. That being said, I'm super pumped, and I will be tuning in next Tuesday.
That is such a hot orbital take to start this episode off with. So you're saying that, first off, okay, so the Pillars of Creation, great photo, but at the same time, won't a web image almost look like that Pillars of Creation image?
So you got to take a step back. Pillars of Creation, the iconic photo that we're talking about, that is not what your eye sees. That has all sorts of filters on it. This isn't our humanity's first infrared telescope, but it is by far the most advanced. And so I don't think it's going to see what Hubble does. That being said, they can obviously apply filters to it and make a beautiful picture, which I'm sure it will be. But I
would have to disagree with you only because think of it this way. Right now, when you think about deep space, I immediately think of the Hubble Deep Field photo, pretty much because that's all we have, right? Of like when we're peering out into the deep darkness of space. I think that they're going to first show us a new deep field image. So we're going to get the new deepest view of our universe. I think that's going to be like breathtaking. I honestly think it's going to make a lot of people like question a lot of what's going on here on this planet right now, right? This image is going to go viral. And it's not just one. I think they're dropping like around 10 to 15 images in this first, like almost like album release party, which I'm really excited about.
Release party. I like that.
Yeah. So it's going to be next Tuesday in the morning, set your calendars, set your alarms. And we'll be covering it. It's going to be wild. I know there's a big NASA socials release party that we probably should have been at. I don't think we're traveling for this one, but we'll probably be at the next one. But dude, iPhone backgrounds are about to get a major upgrade. I'm telling you.
For sure. Yeah. And let me kind of re-clarify something. It's not that I'm not excited about this, and it's not that I don't think it's going to be kick ass. I think it's going to be. I just think that one of the guys said he started weeping when he saw this image. So it's like, okay, like you set that bar. And if I don't weep, it's disappointing,
it's like it's probably going to be an image that you stare at, and the longer you look at it, like the more you feel. NASA's Deputy Administrator Pam stated that what I've seen moved me as a scientist, as an engineer, and as a human being. Like, holy shit.
Yeah. I mean, that's incredible. So I hope it lives up to that hype. I truly do.
I think it will.
Okay, let's go, man. LFG.
If it's not the deep field image of the universe that lives up to the hype, maybe it will be like an image of like the exoplanet's atmosphere that might live up to the hype, right? Like you're going to have a lot of options to find what's going to really move you. I'm confident that you're going to be happy. I'm confident.
Yeah. That was one of the coolest things that they said was that we're going to see spectral imaging of an exoplanet's atmosphere.
Oh,
And
I've
it's
been
like,
daydreaming
holy
about it.
shit.
Yeah, I've honestly been daydreaming about it. I've been night dreaming
Yeah.
about it. Just like a planet, maybe with like, I don't know, you look underneath the atmosphere, you see red trees or something because they have a different type of photosynthesis. I don't know. We're entering the golden age of astronomy and we're living here. I'm excited for this because I wasn't really paying attention when the Hubble Deep Field image came out. Obviously in the 90s, I was a baby, but now that like I'm living through this, I can't wait. It's like Christmas.
Yeah, and remember, this was supposed to be released when you were an adolescent. You know,
very true, very true. So that's going to be a week from now, and that's on Tuesday. So Wednesday, wow, that podcast, we're going to be coming in here.
We're going to be talking about our favorite web images.
Yeah. All right. So next week we'll each go
mark
through
your calendars.
We'll do our top three. We'll do our top three. We'll play Chuck.
We'll do top three.
We'll play Chuck, Fuck, Mary with the top three James Webb images next week.
What did you say?
Chuck, Fuck, Mary. You never played that?
Is that like Mary, Fuck, Kill?
Yeah. Chuck,
Okay,
Fuck,
okay.
you Chuck, Fuck. Yeah, okay. Same shit. You know what I mean?
Just making sure.
What else we got going on this week? Oh, the Virgin Orbit launch. Okay. So are you riding with Virgin Orbit or what? They just had their 4th consecutive satellite launch mission. It was named straight up. Funny that they named it a cool title right after that episode we just had last week where we were talking about like
that. So that's what Virgin Orbit does. They name it lyrics of Virgin Records. Virgin.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's a Paula Abdul song.
Yeah, it was like an old song in like the 80s or something like that, right?
Yeah. Yeah. What you know about Paula Abdul, Spo?
Yeah, not too much. Not too much.
She's still looking good. She's still looking good.
We'll pull up a photo right here for those watching on Spotify. Thank you for your support, by the way. And so yeah, this was a nighttime mission, which was interesting. Look, it takes off from a plane. The rocket launches underneath the plane. Are you buying it? Are you riding with Virgin Orbit, or what are your thoughts here?
At first, I would have been like, "Meh, what's the point in this?" It seems like such a I don't know. When you compare that to like Rock Lab, I'm like, what is the point in this? But then the more I thought about it, like you said, there are 4 launches in a row now. They're able to, when you take off from a plane, it's already above most of the atmosphere. That is the most difficult part of the rockets to lift off, right? So I think that at first I was like, meh, does this really solve a problem? But the more I'm seeing it, yeah, I get it. So I'm buying it. And they've shown a cadence and a reliability to it as well.
100%. Yeah, they've now launched 33 satellites to orbit using this Boeing 747.
That's not insignificant. So you can't talk shit.
Yeah, that's sick. And I know those satellites that they just launched were for Space Force, which was pretty cool. So they're in the contract there, which is dope. I like it. Look, I'm not a big plane guy. They call this plane that they're using the Cosmic Girl, which is a really cool name. Beautiful name, actually.
Yeah.
Beautiful name after that. It's kind of like if I had a girlfriend, I'm almost like, that's the nickname I'd give her, right? Cosmic Girl, something like that. But even though I hate planes, I think that this is going to be great for the industry. More people are going to space.
Yeah.
I'm a big Richard B fan. He's 71.
Yes.
Dude, he's 71 now, and he's getting towards the end of his party. I would love to see Virgin Orbit be really successful while he's still here and just see where this company goes in the future. Because after Richard's gone, you got to start thinking for that and like what's next for them. I think that he sets the tone now, and then people go up to space pretty much every day. And he's just going to be battling it out low Earth orbit with Bezos, because that plane can't really go anywhere besides low Earth orbit. So just dominate low, LEO.
Yeah.
Dominated, right? What else we got going on with the bigger rockets here? You got any updates with like SLS or Starship or what?
Yeah, so SLS rolled back to the vehicle assembly building on July 1st. So it took, 18 hours or however long. And so it's going to fix like we talked about last week, the quick disconnect hydrogen leak issue. And then not terribly surprising, but NASA said, hey, we're not going to do another wet dress rehearsal, even though we technically didn't complete this one to 29 seconds, but instead of to T-10, but they feel good about it. So, let's go, man. It's Artemis 1 time.
Artemis 1.
Yeah. Barring anything, any repairs that take longer than usual, I think we're looking at August. So this time next month, Artemis 1 could have launched. Like, that is crazy to think about.
Let's rock. You know what was interesting when I was doing some research on this? It's a 4-mile journey from the VAB vehicle assembly building to launch pad 39B. That's a 4 miles. Holy shit. When I was there, it seemed like everything was closer than that.
Yeah, and then when you think about how it goes like 0.2 miles an hour or something like that, so
Yeah,
it takes quite a while.
you could
Um,
probably have a full-time job as being one of those guys that just helps like
yeah,
stroll that thing down the street for an entire
yeah,
day.
and then what was crazy too is the whole rocket almost got held up by river rocks, by these pebbles.
Wait, so what
Because
happened with that?
so NASA uses a particular kind of pebble that is actually like crushed by the rocket. So NASA does this. They will intentionally crush things to absorb energy. In the Apollo missions, when the lunar lander would land, it had this thing called a crush core,
Mhm.
where they're kind of like shock absorbers, if you will, but it's like a honeycomb kind of structure. And then as the lunar lander would land, it would crush this kind of honeycomb to add some additional, shock
Mhm.
absorption, if you will. So yeah, this particular kind of river pebble gets crushed every time this massive rocket goes back and forth. So there was some concern that the rocks weren't gonna be holding up for the roll back out, but I think that's all been fixed now. But yeah, it's just crazy. Like this giant moon rocket could be derailed by freaking rocks.
Well, that's Pat. That's the story of our life. Think about the James Webb Telescope that just got hit by a piece of sand in space. It
Fair
almost
point.
it almost fucked up humanity's only chance to see the universe. With this type of clear view there. Then again, Pat. I don't know. Maybe we ultimately do have to thank rocks because that's probably where life came from. I say that a lot on this podcast.
Yeah.
What do you think about
the rock giveth and the rock taketh away?
Exactly. What do you so what are your thoughts on the new branding they put a logo on the SpaceX Starship, which looks nice and clean.
Who looks so slick. Yes,
Yeah.
the Ship 24 rolled out this morning to meet Booster 7, I believe.
Mhm.
And looking like static fire campaigns, and ultimately a launch campaign is impending.
Mhm.
And when they rolled it out, they had this beautiful SpaceX logo on there, and it said S24. So now we're actually going to be able to see, easily identify what these ships are. But it got me thinking, I'm a sponsorship guy in Major League Baseball, and we should get our logo on Ship 24 or maybe Ship 25. But that orbital takes logo would look so clean up there, don't you think?
I think that's a great idea. Can't be too hard, right?
Let's just pull our money together and maybe we can sponsor this thing. We can surely afford it.
I think so. I mean, with the money that we got coming in right now, I mean, we could pretty much afford anything right now. Pat,
Elon,
right?
you're not going to have to do another round of seed funding. We'll put our logo up there, and that'll take care of your sponsorship needs.
Pat, whatever font they used for the S24, that is space. Whatever font that is just reminds me of like the doors that open when you're watching a space movie and like they're on a space station and they have like either like cabin numbers or door numbers. Like they basically took that font from pretty much every space movie.
Well, does it surprise you? I mean, aesthetics and design are such a large part of what SpaceX does and make shit look cool.
Why do you think that it took them so long to put the SpaceX logo on it? Why now?
Great question. Because what was it? Was it Starhopper that had an American flag on it? And then of course all the first ones. And then of course all of the crude Falcon 9s have the NASA worm on it. Maybe they were just waiting for their moment in the sun.
Shit, man. So that's exciting. And then also some shitty news. Capstone potentially is not communicating with NASA anymore. What happened with that? I looked on Twitter about 20 minutes ago, and it looks like they might still be having a small issue here with some of the receivers on there.
Yeah. So one of the guys that one of the amateur astronomers that we were talking about last week, Stephen Tilley, he is a genius and tracks all the stuff that's launched. And I think his goal is to actually make a manifest of every single object that was ever launched by humans. And he just wants to create this list. So he follows all this stuff. Like he has ultra high frequency antennae, and he can tap into the deep space network somehow. And I don't know how the hell he does all that, but he was like, hey, like my ultra high frequency radio isn't picking this up, so let me check deep space network. Sure enough, that isn't picking it up either. So I think they're still investigating it, but we were so hopeful and everything from Rocket Lab looked good, considering the failure of Astra a couple weeks ago. Rocket Lab's like, no, we got our shit together. So
Yeah.
who knows? It may not be an issue with the Rocket Lab. It could be an issue with the actual payload itself. But
I really hope Capstone's all right here. I mean, we just launched you, Cap. What are you doing over there? And you said Astra. They have been fucking killing my stock. I bought so much Astra stock when it came out like a few months ago. I was telling oh shit, I probably can't even say that. I was gonna say I was telling all my friends buy some stock. I don't even think I can legally say that anyway.
Sure you can. You don't know any insider information. Like insider trading with SPO. That's your next show.
So I bought a shit ton of stock. I'm getting killed right now. I would like to see Astra succeed, but dude, Capstone, man, I really hope that goes well.
Yeah, and I mean, we were talking. That's like the first Artemis mission, kind of, to test out the near rectilinear halo orbit.
Yeah, Pat. By the way, last week you cracked my shit up. So when I asked you, I was like, "So do you think that this is the official start of the Artemis missions?" You like defended it, and then you argued against yourself, and then
I was like, I should just contradicts myself.
Yeah, you literally.
That's why we hash this stuff out, man.
Yeah, you literally like argued with yourself, and at the end, like you disagreed with yourself, and you were like, "Shit!" You're like, I literally just got myself. Do you remember listening back to that? I was dying when I heard that.
I was like, wait a second, I just kind of contradicted myself. So.
That's some funny shit. Yeah, so we got a big week coming up here, guys. Next week, hey, we're gonna put something on our Instagram this week of ask us questions about the James Webb Telescope. Whatever you guys want to see answered next week, write it in on the IG, and we'll try to hit it. So next week we're probably only going to focus on the JWST. I would just be assuming, right? We'll do like
unless there's like some crazy Starship orbital test between now and then. But yeah, I think next week is JWST heavy.
Yeah. So we'll hit that heavy next week, and then hey, stay locked into the Instagram, guys. Like I said, follow us on TikTok, all social media platforms. It's going to be a big week in space, and we're going to be zoned in, locked in, ready for these images. I can't wait. I mean, we're looking deep into the universe. We're going to be seeing exoplanets, and then the best part about it, Pat, is we don't even know. They won't even tell us.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know what we don't know. So a lot of this stuff is going to be literally mind-blowing stuff that we're learning. So
I love it. All right, guys. Well, there you go. Orbital Takes episode 8. I think that was. Damn, yo, we're cruising along here.
We're cruising. And guys, if you wouldn't mind leaving us a review and rating our podcast, that will really help us go up through the charts.
Rate that pod. And guys, we got a bunch of special guests coming on the podcast soon too. So stay locked in. Orbital Takes episode 8. See you guys next week.
Ad Astra, guys.